Let me tell y'all something. You ever walk in a room and the whole mood just shift? Ain't nobody said nothing, but you feel it. That's energy, man. That's your aura. See, we don't talk about this enough. Your aura speaks before your mouth ever do. And some of y'all walking around carrying stuff you ain't cleaned off in years. Letting go of what's weighing you down isn't just about forgetting things. It's about freeing yourself. Some people are carrying emotional trash like it's designer luggage. They've got heartbreak from 5 years ago zipped up in their spiritual backpack, betrayal tucked into their wallet like ID, and self-doubt stuffed deep in their pockets like loose change. And they wonder why they feel heavy, why they wake up tired, why no matter how many motivational videos they watch, they still can't move forward. It's because they're trying to sprint into the future while dragging yesterday behind them. Life don't work like that. You don't get clarity while walking through a storm of your own making. You have to start unpacking. You have to start letting go. People get addicted to their pain, not because they like hurting, but because they've worn it so long it feels like home. And that's dangerous. When pain becomes your identity, peace feels unfamiliar. And what's unfamiliar feels uncomfortable. So instead of healing, you cling to what you know, the betrayal, the failure, the words they said that broke you. But hear this, just because it happened doesn't mean it has to live with you forever. Just because they hurt you doesn't mean you have to replay it like a broken record every night before you sleep. You have to cut the cord. You have to make peace with the fact that your past had a purpose, but it doesn't have permission to control your future. A lot of folks are spiritually exhausted, not because they're lazy or unmotivated, but because they're mentally and emotionally hoarding. Every disappointment they've had, they've stored it. Every time they got rejected, they wrote it on the wall of their heart. Every insult, every failure, every no, they've kept it in a mental filing cabinet, just in case they need to prove to themselves one day why they ain't good enough. That's poison. That's spiritual clutter. And you can't clean your aura if your soul's buried under debris. You ever walk into someone's house and it's just messy? I mean, stuff everywhere. Old mail, broken furniture, clothes they don't wear but refuse to throw away. That's how some people's spirit look. It's cluttered with unresolved anger, outdated self-worth, expired relationships, and dusty versions of themselves they should have outgrown years ago. And just like in a messy home, you can't find anything valuable because it's buried under junk. Same goes for your energy. Until you clean it, you won't recognize the blessings already sitting in front of you. Peace can't stay where chaos lives. Joy doesn't hang out in the presence of grudges. Purpose don't knock at the door of a soul that's too loud with pain to hear opportunity. Letting go doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're okay with what they did. It means you're done giving your power to the things you can't change. You can't rewrite the past. You can't make people treat you better. But you can choose to not carry it anymore. You can choose to say, I'm not waking up every morning thinking about who wronged me. I'm not using my energy to relive what broke me. I'm not spending my peace on stuff that no longer deserves my attention. That's real strength. That's what powerful people do. They take inventory. They ask, is this feeling helping me or holding me? If it's not helping you grow, helping you heal, or helping you move, it's just weight, dead weight, and it's time to drop it. Some of y'all need to have a spiritual garage sale. Get rid of that guilt you've been dragging around. Toss out the shame that was never yours to carry in the first place. Throw away the fear of what could go wrong. That fear ain't paid no rent, but it's living in your head like a king. It's time to evict it. Tempt. Letting go isn't just spiritual, it's practical. It shows up in your habits, in how you talk, in how you walk. People who have let go, you can see it on them. They smile different. They breathe easier. Their energy isn't frantic, it's grounded. Because when you release what's heavy, you make space for what's holy. When you clear the noise, you hear your own voice again. And when you stop rehearsing what broke you, you start discovering what can build you. Watch who you hang with. Energy is contagious. A lot of people think it's just about staying away from bad people or avoiding obvious negativity. but it goes deeper than that. You could be around people who smile in your face, go to work every day, even seem successful, but if their spirit is always complaining, always doubting, always operating in fear, that energy is rubbing off on you. You can't expect to live in peace when you're swimming in other people's chaos. The people you surround yourself with are either watering your growth or draining your soul. There's no in between. Have you ever noticed how your mood shifts depending on who you're around? Some people can walk in the room and instantly make everything feel heavier. Attempt. They don't even have to say anything, but their presence brings tension. That's not accidental, that's energetic weight. And then there are others, people who just being around them makes you feel lighter, more hopeful, more alive. That's the kind of energy you want near you. Not perfection, not fake positivity, but alignment. People who are trying to elevate, people who are honest about their struggles, but don't live in them. People who speak life, not gossip. People who dream big and push you to do the same. We live in a world where people think loyalty means never outgrowing your circle. That's not loyalty, that's limitation. Sometimes you outgrow people spiritually. Sometimes your healing process makes you incompatible with who you used to be close with. And that's okay. You're not better than them. But you might be on a different journey. Maybe you're trying to break generational patterns and they're still trying to survive in them. Maybe you're choosing accountability and they're still blaming everybody else. That energy mismatch will wear you down if you don't protect your space. You can't clean your aura while keeping toxic connections alive just because you've known them a long time. History doesn't mean harmony. Just because someone was there for you in a past season doesn't mean they're meant to follow you into the next one. Some people were assigned to your struggle, attempt, not your breakthrough. Their energy helped you survive, but now you're trying to thrive, and thriving requires a different kind of tribe. One that doesn't guilt trip you for growing. One that celebrates your healing. One that claps when you win, not questions why you made it. And it's not just about removing toxic people. Sometimes it's about adjusting how much access you give. Maybe they're not evil, but they're exhausting. Maybe they're not mean, but they're always negative. Maybe they mean well, but every time you share a dream, they inject doubt. That's not harmless. Doubt is sneaky. It slips into your spirit and makes you second. Guess what you were once certain of? Before you know it, their fear becomes your hesitation. Their bitterness becomes your outlook. Their small mindset starts limiting your big vision. That's why boundaries aren't just emotional, they're spiritual. They keep your aura clean. You become like the people you're closest to, not immediately, but gradually. Their habits influence yours. Their language creeps into your conversations. Their outlook shapes how you see yourself in the world. So if you're constantly around people who downplay dreams, who mock ambition, who refuse to change, don't be surprised when you feel stuck. That's the environment molding you. If you're always with people who laugh at growth, who make excuses instead of moves, who focus on problems instead of solutions, you're not just hanging out. Attempt, you're absorbing. Your energy is sacred. It's your life force. And you gotta treat it like you would your home. You wouldn't invite people into your house who break your things, leave trash everywhere, and disrespect your rules. So why let people do that in your spirit? Clean people don't thrive in dirty environments. Positive people don't grow in negative circles. And if you want to keep your aura clean, you have to sanitize your circle. Start paying attention. How do you feel after you hang out with someone? Drained or inspired, anxious or at peace? Motivated or confused? Your body knows. Your spirit knows. Stop silencing that wisdom just because you don't want to make someone uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable, but so is staying stuck. And you've got too much purpose to let secondhand energy poison your path. Forgive without needing an apology. That's for you, not them. See, people walk around holding on to pain like it's leverage. They think if they don't forgive, they're somehow winning. Like withholding forgiveness is going to make the other person feel what they felt. But let me tell you something. Half the people who hurt you ain't even thinking about you. They've moved on, living their life, and you're the one still waking up angry, still replaying the moment, still giving energy to something that's already gone. That's not power. That's prison. And the only one locked inside is you. Forgiveness isn't about excusing what they did. It's not about saying it was okay. It's not about pretending it didn't affect you. It's about releasing yourself from the grip of it. Because every time you revisit that pain without intention to heal, you reopen a wound. And you give your peace over to someone who might not even remember what they did. That's like drinking poison and hoping they get sick. It doesn't work. You forgive because you deserve peace, not because they earned it. Waiting on an apology is like sitting on a train platform for a ride that's never coming. Some people will never apologize, not because they're unaware of what they did, but because their pride won't let them, or because they genuinely don't see the damage, or worse, because they don't care. And if your healing depends on them realizing their wrongs, then you've put your freedom in their hands. That's too much power to give away. You forgive because your soul needs space to breathe again, not because they deserve a pass. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's emotional intelligence. It's knowing that peace is more valuable than ego. We live in a world where revenge is glorified, where bitterness is mistaken for strength. But bitterness eats you from the inside out. It distorts your perception, hardens your heart, and clouds your energy. You can't shine while holding on to shadows. You can't elevate while anchored in resentment. People say, "I'll never forgive them," like it's a badge of honor. But all that's doing is keeping you spiritually tied to the very person who broke you. Forgiveness cuts that cord. It says, "I'm not letting what you did define how I move anymore." And let's be real, sometimes the hardest person to forgive is yourself. Maybe it's not even about someone else. Maybe you're holding on to your own mistakes, your own regrets, that one decision you wish you could undo. Attempt. You play it over and over, punishing yourself in your mind like that's going to make things right. But self-forgiveness is part of the process too. Tempt. You can't clean your aura if your inner voice is constantly accusing you. You have to learn to say, "Yes, I did that. I messed up. I didn't know better then, but I do now. And I refuse to stay in shame for a past I can't rewrite." Forgiveness is release. It's unclenching your fist, letting go of the anger, the resentment, the grudge that's been weighing on your spirit. And that release shifts your energy. You ever see someone who truly forgives, you can see it in their face. They're lighter. Not because everything got fixed, but because they chose to stop carrying it. That's the power you unlock when you forgive. You reclaim your joy. You reclaim your time. You reclaim your focus. You stop letting the past interrupt your present. It's easy to say, "I'll forgive," when they say sorry. But the truth is, sometimes that day never comes. You can't let your healing be held hostage by someone else's timeline. You can't wait for closure from a door that's already shut. Closure isn't something you get from them. It's something you give yourself. You say, "This hurt me, but it won't define me. This affected me, but it won't control me." That's forgiveness. That's freedom. And sometimes the people who hurt you didn't even know better. They were broken too. They were operating from their own trauma, their own pain, their own insecurities, and hurt people. They hurt people. That doesn't excuse it, but it explains it. And when you understand that, you stop taking it personally. You start seeing the situation from a higher place. You start realizing that forgiveness isn't about changing the past. It's about protecting your future. Speak life over yourself. Words shape your energy. The words you say about yourself are seeds. And every time you speak, you're planting something in the soil of your soul. You might not see the result right away, but keep saying it long enough and it becomes your truth. Tim, that's why you've got to be careful with self-talk. Too many people curse themselves without even realizing it. "I'm so dumb. I'll never get it right. Nobody wants me." That's not just venting. That's building a belief system. Your words are creating an atmosphere, and your energy is following right behind it. You ever notice how when someone says, "I'm tired," they start acting more tired? When someone says, "I can't do this," their body responds with resistance. That's not coincidence, that's alignment. Your body and your energy follow your language. And if your language is full of defeat, doubt, and destruction, your aura becomes dim. You start attracting more of what you're speaking. It's like you're building a magnet for negativity with your own mouth. But here's the good news, it works the other way too. If you start saying, I got this, I'm growing, I'm healing, your energy shifts, your posture changes. You stand taller, move bolder, and walk like someone who expects good things. Thing to attempt. You can't expect the universe to speak blessings over you when you're speaking curses over yourself. It doesn't line up. People talk about manifesting success, attracting abundance, walking in favor, but then they speak failure every time they get frustrated. It don't work like that. Your mouth has to match your mission. Your language has to reflect your vision. You can't be saying, I'm broke, and then wonder why opportunities keep passing you by. You can't keep saying, I'm always alone, and wonder why love feels distant. What you repeat becomes your rhythm, and that rhythm drives your results. Your aura doesn't just come from crystals, candles, and meditation. It comes from conversation, especially the ones you have with yourself. That inner dialogue to attempt, that loop in your head, that's where your energy is being formed. And you have to train it just like a muscle. Attempt. You have to catch those thoughts that tear you down and replace them, not with fake positivity, but with truth, with strength, with intention. Instead of saying, I always mess things, say, I'm learning. I'm getting better. I'm growing every day. That might feel weird at first. You might not even believe it right away. But keep saying it. Your spirit is listening. People are to underestimate the power of I am. Whatever you put after those two words, you're inviting into your identity. I am tired. I am broken. I am lost. That's dangerous. Start saying, I am powerful. I am resilient. I am worthy. Those words carry weight. They set a tone. They create a frequency that other people can feel before you even open your mouth again. That's why you can walk in a room and command respect without saying a word, because your energy is echoing the words you've already been speaking over yourself. To attempt. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. It's not bragging, it's belief. You don't need the world to validate you when you've already decided who you are. That's what speaking life does. It reminds you of your value. Even when life tries to make you forget, it grounds you. It fuels you. It gives you clarity in confusion and strength in uncertainty. When the world says, you can't, your voice says, watch me. When life says, you're done, your energy says, I'm just getting started. There's power in the way you talk about your journey. Stop downplaying your progress. Stop minimizing your magic. Stop shrinking just because someone else is uncomfortable with your shine. If you keep speaking small, don't be surprised when your life follows suit. Start declaring bigger things over yourself. I am capable of change. I am connected to purpose. I attract peace, progress, and power. Say it until it becomes a part of your energy. Tempt. Say it until your aura is so strong, people feel uplifted just being near you. This isn't just motivation, it's spiritual hygiene. It's how you keep your aura clean in a world that's constantly trying to dim your light. You can burn sage, pray daily, meditate every morning, but if your self-talk is toxic, your energy will be too. Speak life, speak strength, speak healing. Your words are not just sounds, they're spiritual instructions, and your energy is obeying every one.